Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. If you're new, please consider subscribing, and if you're not new, thank you guys so much for coming back. I really appreciate your support. So today we are going to be doing my December favorites. Don't get it twisted, this is not my yearly favorites. I still plan on doing a video talking about all my favorite fragrances from the year, but that will be probably next week. But this is all of my December favorites. I have fragrances and a few makeup items. I'll leave the makeup and like one house item, like home item. I'll leave those for last because I know you guys are here for the fragrances. So if you guys want to see what perfumes I loved for December, then just keep on watching. Let's start with the scent that I wore on Christmas last year and this year, Christmas Eve actually. And this is Kilian Angel Share. The bottle is gorgeous. The scent has my whole entire heart. This is me in a bottle. It's sweet, but it's spicy. It smells bougie. This is like a sweet cinnamon apple, because there's like a fruitiness to this. There's cinnamon, definitely cinnamon. There's like a booziness to this. It's sweet, but it's spicy. It's boozy. It's decadent. It's delicious. Honestly, yes, it's unisex. I love it. I find it so sexy. Not like in the obviously sexy way, but in like an alluring, like what is she wearing kind of way. It's not overly sweet, but there is some sweetness to it. There's so much cinnamon in this. I love cinnamon and that booziness. I love it. And there is a like almost like fermented fruit. To me, it kind of smells, think like apple pie, cinnamon, apple pie, a booziness. But it's never overly sweet. There's a gourmand quality to this, but it's not overly gourmand in my opinion. It's unisex, but I love it. I find it so delicious, and it has my whole heart. So next up, we have another one of my winter favorites in general. I wear this a lot in December and November, but pretty much anything Christmassy that I'm doing outdoors especially, I'm wearing this. But in general, I wear it a lot in the winter. This is MAC Velvet Teddy. And a lot of people say this is a dupe for Tobacco Vanille by Tom Ford. I don't find it's a dupe, but I do think it's in the same family. So if you like Tobacco Vanille, I feel like you would like this. But this kind of smells like a hybrid between Tobacco Vanille and the candle by Bath & Body Works that's called Marshmallow Fireside. Because to me, tobacco is a note that sometimes could give me a headache. This doesn't smell like tobacco to me, and it does not give me a headache. There's a sweetness to this, so the sweetness reminds me of like roasted marshmallows, and the smokiness, woodiness in this is, think of like roasting marshmallows at like a campfire. That's what I think of. That's what I get. Yes, there's a sweetness, almost like roasted marshmallows, and then the smokiness, the woodiness that I get reminds me of like a campfire. That kind of smokiness, which I really like. I find that so comforting. And this one, yeah, it's just really good. It's definitely warm and definitely cozy. I would only wear this in the winter time. And for a MAC fragrance, this is very like beastly. A little bit goes a long way. Don't overspray it or you will ruin a good thing. You know what I mean? It might nauseate you if you spray too much of it, but a couple sprays will last you the whole day, whole night. It will stay on your clothes. It will project, but it smells delicious. It smells warm, cozy. You're outside, you're roasting marshmallows at a fire pit. Like, that's why I think like winter, like Christmas markets, I wear that. But, and I feel like that's talked about a lot on YouTube, but in real life, I don't know too many people that wear that, which is probably why people associate it with me, like in my circle. But it's really good. And then next up is a fan favorite, but I've been wearing it a lot this month, and that's just because this is very cozy to me. This is Hypnotic Poison by Dior. This is the, someone asked me last time and I forgot to say, but this is the Eau de Toilette. I prefer the Eau de Toilette. I did get a sample of the Eau de Parfum, but I didn't really like that one as much because I feel like I got a lot of like licorice or something in there was throwing me off. The Eau de Toilette I love. This to me is, it is a very powdery scent, so you have to like powdery scents, and I love this for the winter time for that reason, because it gives you like, the powderiness gives you like a cozy factor. I find this very sensual, and there is a little bit of a spiciness to this, but overall, think like a powdery sweet almond. That's what I get. This is like a very powdery almond. I love almond in fragrances, so I love this. And there is a little bit of a spiciness to this. I know a lot of people describe this as sexy, but I don't think this is like an in-your-face, like typical sexy scent. Because it's so powdery, I would describe this more as like sensual. But overall, I love it for winter time. Because of that powderiness, it gives me like this cozy factor. I really like it. But again, that one does project. It does last. Some people complained about the longevity with the eau de toilette. But, and I think in my first review, I said it wasn't beastly, but I feel like the more I sprayed it, I don't know if it just ages very well or what, but it projects. It's pretty beastly. So that's another one, like a little goes a long way. Next up, this is Pinrose Gilded Fox. I don't hear too many people talk about this. Get it together. But this one, I got this at Sephora, but I don't see it at Sephora now, but I think it's still sold on the Pinrose website. And this one is like a hidden gem. Honestly, this one smells like chocolate, but like a spiced chocolate. I think there's vetiver in this. So, and there is a boozy note in here. I think it's rum, vetiver, and chocolate. This smells like, you don't get too much of a booziness, I'm gonna be honest with you, but you do get a little bit of like that spiced hot chocolate. That's what it smells like. And the chocolate in this isn't overly powdery, but it's not overly dark and bitter either. So I would say it's a perfect balance, but you get that chocolate. Like, it smells so good and realistic. This smells like a spiced chocolate. Hot chocolate. I don't get much of the booziness, but that chocolate is in your face. It's delicious. And every time I wear this, my husband really likes this one because it's straight up chocolate. This smells like a spicy hot chocolate. By spicy, by the way, I don't mean peppery. Think like cinnamon, like you added cinnamon to a hot chocolate, something like that. That's what I mean by spice. Like kind of like the vetiver gives it almost like a cinnamon quality. But the chocolate is definitely like the star of the show. It smells delicious. It smells cozy. And I associate it with wintertime because like when you were a little kid, you'd go outside and play and you'd come in freezing and have a hot chocolate. I think that is why I associate this with the wintertime. I am still a child at heart. And I don't mind that. So if you like chocolate fragrances, this one is really, really good. I will say longevity on that isn't the best. I get like 4 to 5 hours. Spray your clothes because it will last longer on your clothes. And then last but not least, this is one of my favorite fragrances too. Like, this is, if I feel like I should do like a top 5 because this would be in it. This is Tom Ford Noir Parfum. Did I nail that? This one is, I've said it so many times, but I got this because I watched someone else's video and she described it as a spicy cheesecake. I cannot talk today, so I'm sorry. She describes it, see what I mean? She described it as a spicy cheesecake, which intrigued me, and I'm trying to look for a spot that doesn't smell like anything. This starts off kind of spicy oriental, but then you get a creaminess. It's a little bit spicy, it's a little bit creamy, it's delicious, but there is an oriental vibe to this. It's not overly oriental, but there is a little bit of an oriental vibe. When I first got it especially, I picked it up more, but now I feel like I'm just so used to it. I get the, I think it's pronounced kulfi. It's a creamy note. That's why someone described it as cheesecake. It doesn't smell like cheese, but it smells creamy more so. Creamy, gourmand, delicious, mixed with like these oriental, spicy kind of notes. So she's sweet, but she's spicy. She's alluring, but she's got a kick. You know, she's got some sass. I really like this one a lot. And it's a go-to year-round. I don't just wear this in the winter. I know most people would, but I'm not most people, so there's that. And then let's talk about my favorite candle of the month. I'm going to finish this one just because I hate leaving candles like halfway. I went through a whole one of these, and this is by Bath & Body Works, White Barn. Technically, if you hear my kids, I'm sorry, it's winter break. But this is by White Barn, and it's Fresh Balsam. So this is like my go-to candle that I burn before Christmas because it smells like Christmas trees. I associate it with Christmas because it smells like pine, like Christmas trees. And I burned a whole one of these, and then this is half of one, or like a little less than half maybe left, and I'm just gonna finish it. I'll burn it during the day because it does smell like a forest. It smells like pine trees, like Christmas in a candle. So I usually burn this November and December to get me excited and like in the Christmas spirit because it's Christmas. And then let's move on to a couple makeup items. So first of all, this is the Clarins Lip Comfort Oil. This is what this looks like. My autofocus is really just playing me hard today. I don't know why. I got the shade Honey, 01 Honey, and it's basically just clear. But I just want to show you guys, okay? I know a lot of people recently, I'm using my viewfinder, so... What do you see that? It gives like the nicest gloss ever, but I don't really use it as a gloss. I use it sometimes during the day if my lips are dry, or overnight if my lips are dry, but if I want to use it as a gloss, I do that too. But it's honestly so, like, it feels luxurious. It's not sticky. It is a little bit thick, but by thick, in the best way possible. It's not like, I don't know, it's not like gloopy, it's not sticky or anything like that, but it feels like it's hydrating, and it's thick in the sense that like it doesn't feel like it's just going to disappear. Do you know some lip oils that you put on and they're just gone in 2 seconds? This one sticks around, so you don't have to reapply it every 2 seconds, and it feels so nice on the skin. I like the color. They do have a berry shade too that I feel like would be comparable to the Dior one, because I know the Dior one recently got so much hype on TikTok, but I, like, as you can see, I've used a lot of this. I use it all the time. I just find it so hydrating, and I actually really like the smell of this one. I personally like that it's clear because my natural lips are pretty pigmented, so I'm not a huge fan of like berry red lips, especially if I'm not wearing makeup. Like, I don't just want my lips to be red, you know? So I like the shade one, and I love that it's super hydrating, and I feel like this would be good over lipstick, under lipstick, on its own, overnight. I use it all the time, but I also feel like it would be a good dupe for that Dior one if you guys wanted to try the Dior one, but maybe you don't like the color, or maybe it's a little bit expensive, because it is. This Clarins brand, this is a really good one. And then I never talk about mascaras on my channel because honestly, I feel like you can find good mascaras at the drugstore, but this one is by Rare Beauty. Well, I don't even know. This one's by Rare Beauty, and it just says black. I think this is the only mascara by Rare Beauty, if I'm not mistaken. I'm going to leave it linked down below. But basically, this is what I use on my eyelashes all the time. I only wear like false lashes when I'm going to like a special event. But 99% of the time, I don't wear false lashes, but I like a mascara that kind of lengthens, separates, and gives me a little bit of volume. And this mascara does everything in one. I also love that the bristles on this are not plastic. They're like natural fibers, and the shape almost reminds me of the Better Than Sex mascara, but I like the formula much better. It's not too wet and it's not too dry. I hate a super wet formula. I don't know why. I just find it does nothing for my lashes. It kind of weighs them down, and I have really long eyelashes, but they're kind of straight, so this gives them some curl. It gives them the volume, the definition. It separates them. I love the brush, and it adds it just does honestly like everything that I want it to do. And for me to recommend like a Sephora mascara means a lot, because usually this is the one, this is my backup, I brought it just to show you, but this is the one that I use all the time. This is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. So overall, like, I really like this one too, but recently I haven't even opened my backup because I've been loving this Rare Beauty one. It does everything I want it to do. But yes, those are all of my favorites for December. I will still be doing my yearly roundup of like perfume favorites. That will be coming very shortly. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, be sure to give me a thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe. Check me out on Instagram. It's always linked down below. And I will see you guys in the next one.